You hear that, Craig? You hear that? He said he'll deal with your bullshit.
Did he just
I
call
will.
Rick bullshit?
Wow.
He is. The guy broke into my room, logged onto my computer, loaded up and played Slots to 2. Okay. He's got a bunch of likes. All right. So I'm letting him record 1 episode next week, and that's it. That's it.
Mhm.
Maybe if he gets like, I don't know, 50 likes, he can get a 3rd shot, but only if that happens.
Hey, Craig, I'll like it for you. I'll help, buddy. I'll even hire some bots to like it.
You better not. We're an anti-bot, no clankers allowed community here.
Except for Craig.
Yeah, except for Craig. We love you, Craig. Please don't kill us. Anyway, we're the Grumpy Dungeon Masters. I'm Jay, joined with my co-host, Christopher, Christian, and Dan. I say hi, guys.
Hello there.
Dan's mic cut out like halfway through the hi guys, so we
It
didn't get
did.
that.
It
He
did.
didn't say hi guys. He said hello there again, ruining the issue.
Hi, guys.
There you go.
Man. All right. Do the intro.
Yep. So we did the intro. Now I'm going to get to Christian. Hey, where can we find us on social medias and stuff?
You can find the Grumpy Dungeon Masters podcast on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. It is also available on YouTube, and you can find us streaming on Twitch TV. No longer streaming Baldur's Gate. About to start Valheim?
Probably Valheim.
Probably Valheim. We'll stream something. Tuesdays, Thursday nights, 9-ish Eastern. And when spring dawns in full, stay tuned for the return of an epic tale that will determine the fate of worlds. Grumpy Dungeon Master Christopher's D&D 5e game, Waterdeep Worldborn Dead.
Huzzah.
Gets more epic every time.
It does. And it's just going to keep going until you actually start running it again.
All right,
So-
tell everyone to like and subscribe and all that stuff.
Yeah, if you like what you hear, you like what you see on our streams, give us a like, leave a comment, subscribe.
Yep.
All right.
We might respond to comments, maybe.
I will if I see them, and I
Yeah.
have when I see them. Sometimes I see them like 3 months late, so probably outside the bounds of responding to them. But you know what? I still responded nonetheless.
There we go.
Yeah,
He works on Chris time.
I work on my time, which is nap time, which I'll be taking probably mid podcast. So don't mind me if you hear snoring from me instead of my cat this time.
Yeah.
I just got back from the LARP. I'm tired and exhausted. I had a great time. Nothing really to be grumpy about. Blah, blah, blah. Plot time, blah, blah, blah. Players, blah, blah, blah.
That's how you know that
Yeah.
that's how you know you LARPed, is the fact that you are so tired you're not even able to complain about anything.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't have much to complain about now. All I get to do now is either tell you one thing people are complaining about, and also, which one do you want to hear first? Me killing another player in Adventures League.
Is it the same guy you keep killing?
No, actually not.
I do want to hear about it then.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't. If it's Kennedy again, I'm not interested. But if it's
it is not a Kennedy again. The Kennedy now is surviving, even though many attempts have been had for him not to survive. Not intentionally, like people have just saved him, good strategy and whatnot. So I got 2 tables running now at Adventures League, and so me and another DM have been pretty much syncing up of what our stories are going to be, and we're getting some new players in as well too. One of the reoccurring players, one of the newer reoccurring players, brought his elder daughter in to play as well too. This is like one of her first few times playing D&D. So she was really getting into it. She was real hyped. She had a lot of fun on her rogue. And she came in with the character already built. And her dad, seasoned D&D vet, I didn't bother checking her sheet or anything like that. to see if there are any issues. I just kind of accepted it as it was. So we started playing. We got to a situation where she was sneaking on ahead. A druid had shapeshifted into a spider and was on her shoulder. And there was another newer player as well there, sneaking up with her. And the party was basically these 2 level 1s and a bunch of level 4s. So I really wasn't thinking too much what was going to happen. I had planned for a gorilla to attack them, one of the big 8 gorillas, because I had the mini handy, and that's just what was going to attack them. So I went through.
They're level 1.
Yeah. They're trying to sneak up ahead to see what was making all the noise.
Can I just pause real quick here?
Yeah.
Didn't at some point in time wasn't there some sort of question posed to us about could 100 unarmed men defeat one gorilla or
yes?
Okay, are you tying that into this story here or
no?
Okay, we need to continue.
And so they're trying to sneak up and find what the noise is. And so the spiders doesn't have to make a stealth check, but the level 1s do. And even though she would have been rolling real well all night, she rolled super bad on her stealth. The other guy rolled super bad as well. So kind of an inverse, the gorilla had the opportunity to jump out at them. So I had that happen, didn't have them attack him. I asked them what they were going to do because they had an action and they were going to run away. So they began to run away, and I was just telling them, okay, the gorilla's giving chase. What do you guys want to do? I'll give you guys a full turn. What do you want to do? And the rogue was like, well, since I can like bonus action dash or something like that, since I can run, dash, and bonus action dash, I'm going to do that. Maybe she was level 2. I'm going to do that. So she goes off and she does that. Okay? And the warlock can't.
Legitimate strategy being the faster of the 2 people. That's fine.
Right. So the warlock, okay, I was like, okay, fine. This gorilla gets 2 slam attacks. First slam attack, he's going to grab you. He's not going to attack you. He's going to grab you. He completely just doesn't even come close to the gorilla's grab attack. So I was like, all right, cool. You're grabbed. Now he's going to throw you at her.
Wait, how far away? She's run 90 feet. How's he throwing her at her?
Well, because he double moved, she triple moved, and the monkey was just there. Okay.
Okay.
And
it has a ranged weapon attack that can reach 50 feet.
So he threw the warlock at the rogue. All right.
Okay.
And I roll out in the open, guys. I don't hide my rolls. I let everyone know. That way I'm being honest. You know, I fudge the numbers in my head a little bit, like ACs and stuff like that, at the player's advantage sometimes, but not all the times. But there's nothing I can do when I roll a crit. It just is what it is. So
yeah, go on. I have comments, but go on.
So I roll the 2d10s, and I get 16 total damage. And here's where my fudging comes in. I don't add any strength. I just say, oh, the dice say 16. It's 16 damage. Okay, I don't add any strength in there. I don't even mention that I could add strength in there. You know, we all know I could, but I don't. And I try, you know, I hit the rogue with the warlock. I have the warlock do a save. He makes the save, so he takes half damage. Okay. I then go to the rogue and I go, so what's your hit points? She goes, 8. And I was like, oh shit.
Great con modifier.
Wait, she level 1 or 2?
I think she's level 1.
Okay.
So
question: were you using the ape stats for this gorilla, where it has a ranged rock throw of D6 plus 3 or something like that?
I think so. I was going off just my head memory of it. I wasn't looking at actual stats.
Okay.
So that's why I just rolled 2d10.
Sure.
So she goes, oh, and then I explained it's like, well, yeah. So if you take double, if you take your hit points and bloodied damage, you die instantly. So this gorilla basically threw this man at you and split you in two with him.
So
And she hold on, she was super hyped with it. She's like, that is the best way to die ever. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And so we get around for a little bit, and the father's like, you're really into this. She's like, yeah, this is great. So can I come back as like her sister to avenge her? She's already hyped up on it. It was really great. No negative feelings anywhere. But their friend that they kind of come jointly with was like, wait, your hit points are 8? And she's like, yeah. And then she shows him the die. She's like, I rolled my die, and then I added my con modifier, and I got 8. And we're like, oh, no. You get your whole hit point die at level 1. So you get 8 plus the 2. So you actually have 10 hit points. And so I kind of said that, okay, well, you didn't actually die. It looked like you had died. Just what happened was your gear went one way, your body went the other. And you're fine. You have 2 hit points, but you're unconscious for a little bit. And luckily I didn't kill them at the end because, she's like, oh, okay, I'll bring the sister back when she does die. So
yeah.
We were all hyped up for that. It was a really great time.
So my questions here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Back of the truck up here. You already said that you just kind of riffed on the stats. I think you used giant ape stats for doing 2d10 to her instead of ape, because ape's rock throw is just a d6 plus 3.
Okay.
2, I would say, I mean, if it were me, and an ape is angrily throwing a warlock that he just smashed to the ground, I probably wouldn't give him his ranged attack. I'd probably give him like an improvised weapon, especially if I'm just trying to scare the shit out of the player. But hey, whatever. It worked out fine. She didn't die. Technically,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think there's 1,000 ways it could have played out
There's 1,000
better.
ways you could have played that out, but yeah, that's just what I think I would do. I probably would have improvised weaponed it just because apes don't know how to throw people. I mean,
on that topic, so Chris, just for you, was that ape actually a halfling in a Speedo?
No, it was actually a pixie shapeshifted as a giant ape.
Okay. Since Dan did not play Baldur's Gate 3 with us, that's what I was playing, was a halfling barbarian who threw people.
Where my mind was the entire time, to be honest. The best part was, though, is I had decided at the beginning too, I was just going to make this a pixie, or some kind of fairy. I didn't know the specifics. I was just kind of riffing it, and they weren't going to know until they like beat the ape down and it shapeshifted back, and then they could RP with the pixie fairy thing for a little bit. So what happened though is the druid player got knocked off the ape, or got knocked off the rogue when she got supposedly split in 2. And when it was his turn, he stood right up and cast Moonbeam on it. And we all know what Moonbeam does. It takes you out of shapeshift form. I was like, holy shit, they're going to be surprised. So I went in my box, got the little pixie out, put it there. And I was like, so yeah, you hit this thing with the Moonbeam, it takes some damage and transforms into a pixie. And the next person up was like, fuck that pixie, and like just smashes it to death.
Just a fly swatter with a shield.
Yeah. It was great overall. And like I said, there was no intent to kill, but just goddamn crits, man. There's only so much fudging I could do when I roll out in the open. Like I said, I just didn't add strength. I didn't try to even pretend to add strength.
I think you ended up making the right call by not adding strength. I mean, like I said, it's essentially using an unarmed, an improvised weapon to throw something. So you give up something for that. So giving up strength is fine. That works. I'm glad her friend called her on, telling her that no, this isn't old school. You actually have to get max hit points at first level, or else you will die at first level.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was glad. Like I said, I was really glad it worked out. And the next week this week. Well, I guess last week by the time this podcast comes out, because I won't be there this week, tomorrow when this podcast comes out. I basically split the groups up into a dungeon and let them kind of work together as tables. Like, okay, you're about to go into a cave. You're going into the same cave. What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to plan out ahead of time? And they're like, all right, you guys all go right. We'll all go left. And we'll see what we uncover. And they explored. It's one of the dungeons in the Borderlands books, one of the extra ones. And they were crawling through it. And it was a good old school dungeon crawl. It was a lot of fun to kind of get through there. And a lot of little tiny encounters back to back to back to back to back. Like 1,000 cave bats erupt, and you gotta like get through this giant cavern, and then a bunch of magma mephits and wax soldiers and just crazy shit. It was real fun. And when they talked back at the end of the night, they were like, "Okay, it looks like we've cleared a good 3/4 of the dungeon, so we'll definitely find the way to the next part next week." So probably gonna do the same thing again. At least some instructions for the DMs that are gonna play back up to me and kind of see how they go from there. They should be able to clear it out the week I get back from Gary Con, and we'll do the finale for that there. Should be a lot of fun. And then we'll move on to Temple of Elemental Evil, and then hopefully D&D Encounters will be out by then. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, new materials. I'm sure you're waiting on that.
Yeah. How new they'll be, I don't know, but we'll see. I honestly hope it's just not a re-riff of fucking the Ravenloft campaign. I know the book is with the monsters. It's just going to be a re-riff, an update to 5.5 from 5.0. I just hope the D&D Encounter story isn't just the Ravenloft book chopped up more. Like, I wouldn't be too disappointed if it is, but I want something uniquely different for this. And I think
you want something that they're almost certainly not going to deliver.
Well, I think that if they don't deliver something unique for encounters and it's just a rehash material, no one's going to put any faith in the future of D&D Encounters. They want new material. They want newer stuff. They want things they haven't played before. And a lot of people who play D&D have played through all the campaign modules.
I mean, every time they release a starter set, it starts with, it's just a rehash of something that was made in first edition.
Not really. I mean, the starter set was Keep on the Borderlands. I don't think Dragons of Stormwreck Isle was. Phandelver definitely wasn't.
If even it's not first edition, it's from older stuff. They're not brand new.
No, but the adventures are also they're intro adventures. They all start off with you on a wagon, and goblins attack, which is fine because Larian starts with you. We all know. Beach.
Yeah, that's the way adventures are supposed to start. And
yeah,
if they don't start that way, that means they're trash.
Yeah, that's the only way an adventure could happen. You certainly couldn't use anything else except for goblins.
No.
I'm saying for starter sets, it's fine.
No, you're right. It is fine. It's a classic kind of encounter.
Because honestly, when I start Stormwreck Isle and have the players at level 1, whether it's 4, 5, or 6 players, fight the 3, 4, or 5 zombies that pop up on the beach, they always fucking can't kill the zombies. So it's ridiculous, and I hate it. I don't know why 6 players can't kill 5 zombies at level 1.
Because zombies don't die half of the time.
Yeah, it really is dumb. But goblins running away and then chasing them down and going through their cave, it's perfect. I really like how 4th edition starter set starts that way, because then you see a big bad on the road watching you the entire time and stuff like that. It felt like Fall Crest was a better start than Phandelver was, but that's a different podcast.
I'm like my idea of a starter set is much more in line with how DCC does it. Just level 0 modules. They can be creative. They can do whatever the hell they want. They don't have to have this one type where you fight some goblins, you ride a wagon, et cetera, et cetera. Every level 0 module from X-Crawl, MCC, DCC, they're all just starter modules. Like, anybody can do this.
The big difference is they're trying to get people who already know tabletop to play. So they're hitting a different audience. An audience that is brand new to fantasy can't jump into those. I mean, they can.
Bullshit. Yeah,
There's
bullshit.
some that will, but your average player, some boyfriend girlfriend combo that's like, let's try encounters as a first date. Dumb shits that come out to Adventures League. I'm not going to throw them through DCC modules or first roll into tabletop. I'm going to do your in a tavern and a sheep walks in with a message on them, or I'm going to do like the goblins attack stuff. You need something simple to hit 95% of the audience.
Yeah, I wholly disagree with that.
Yeah,
I
the
know.
level
Completely
0 DCC modules are pretty simple. I mean, your characters are super simple because you're level 0. You have nothing but your base stats. And then a lot of the modules are just like, hey, you are either you're in this situation, you've been thrown in the dungeon and now you have to escape. That's simple. There's nothing to explain. You just go.
Yep. There's a chaos rock that's corrupting your fields, and you farmers have no choice except to go deal with it. Go adventure.
It's too complex. It's too complex for people
Bullshit.
who've never touched it.
Bullshit.
It's not.
How is that complex? Where's the complexity?
The complexity is like it's great for us. People who
No.
watch Lord of the Rings or play Final Fantasy, play Dragon Warrior into the video game space, like okay, fine. That a chaos magic rock that's there, that's a thing that people they have to understand it. They have to emphasize
They
it.
don't have to understand it.
Goblins attacking or bandits attacking is a simple concept at an almost
I
powerful
think you're
thing.
underestimating the capability of people to understand things. People.
I
are
want
not
you
showing
guys
up-
to run Adventures League for 5 years and tell me if I'm underestimating.
I'm definitely
people.
not going to run Adventures League for 5 years. That seems like hell in a handbasket.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that I've played with people who are clearly just never played before at cons. People who are playing their first game, stuff like that. People have consumed media, Chris, especially in this day and age where video games and movies are all about sci-fi and fantasy and shit. Like people can understand weird concepts that are more than just the goblins done stole the farmer's daughter. I mean, come on, man.
I am currently playing with a player. She joined maybe not even 6 months ago. We're most of the way through the Ravenloft campaign in D&D. She's not a nerd. She didn't know shit about fantasy. She probably had seen like the Lord of the Rings movies, but that would have been about the extent of it. And now she is in the DCC campaign. She's having no problems. She's finally starting to catch on to the rules, but the understandings of the depths of Ravenloft and the understanding of the craziness that is Caverns of Thracia, she's having no fucking problems with it. And this is the same kind of person that would end up as a healer girlfriend, quote, at a Adventures League table.
I disagree. Like we're gonna have to stay with there because you can't convince me that the majority of people can just easily grasp that. And
How can you? Tell me what is hard to grasp about you've been thrown in a dungeon and you have to escape.
No, that's very simple. Thrown in a dungeon, have to escape is fine. That's one of the better ones. There's a chaos stone that's out in the field emanating magic, and you have to go solve that problem. That is way too complex.
No.
No,
Yes,
it's not.
yes,
Because
it is.
the only thing
Crafting
you
a
need to
dungeon is not.
understand, the only thing you need to understand is something. You are a bunch of your village is having a problem, and no one's coming to help, and you have to go figure out something.
Bingo.
That's it. It doesn't matter what the problem is.
If you approach it with it's a problem to be solved. People understand problem solving whether it involves dice or not.
People do not understand problem solving, guys. That's like the main issue we have in the world today. People don't understand problem solving.
Wait,
They can
showing
understand.
up to play a game. They're not going to show up completely like derp a derp a derp. I'm here just to roll some dice. But is it like Monopoly? No, they're showing up because they want to fucking play D&D, man.
I understand. So the concept of I'm being thrown in a dungeon and I have to get out is something that's immediate they can understand, they can latch onto it, they can put themselves in that scenario, and they can play a character to get out of that scenario. Magic rock and a field glowing energy, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They don't know whether to go to the temple or the Arcana. They don't even know that the temple and Arcana exist. It's too big of a world. You have to narrow that focus and build up to that.
It's a level 0 module. The focus is written in. You take your implements of farming and you go fix the problem. And the problem in a module is always going to be you have to fight some shit because it's not anything that super ridiculous. You
start at you're being attacked in the farmhouse by goblins, and then you go up to yes.
Anyway,
yes.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
We're not gonna agree with you in this, and that's a final on at least for me.
Yeah.
3 against 1 yet again.
Like usual.
yes,
like
right.
usual. Yep.
Maybe you don't have bad takes, bro.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine, Chris. You are allowed to be wrong. It's okay.
Yeah.
The other piece of thing that I had for this week is the drama concerning Min-Max. And I'm gonna talk about this. It'll be short.
Okay.
So I brought it up on the podcast a while ago that a bunch of YouTubers and TikTokers are kind of getting together and doing a live play D&D game. Some of the players get their names up here. So you have Jacques the Whipper, who is probably the most well-known from the group of people. There's a guy called Instructor Bensai, who's playing a monk. The Sellsword Arts people is a pretty popular channel. There's 3 of them, and they kind of like do medieval weaponry, martial artist stuff. And then there's another guy who does archery videos named Bloomnick, I think. But they all got together and they did a backer kit. They raised about $100,000, and they overshot their goals. And they have enough money with what they have already because they're already entertainers with equipment. And they flew everybody together. The Texas winter storm hit. They hunkered down in their little studio and they played D&D for like the entire time the Texas winter storm happened. So they had the first season. They have it all recorded and it's edited and it's coming out. Their first video, it went live on March 1st. It's currently sitting at like 1.2 million views.
Nice.
Yeah, real good success. The second episode aired earlier today, 7 hours ago. Today being Sunday when we're recording this podcast, and it's already sitting at 65,000 views, which is great. That's bigger retention than most. I think any of their channels get individually.
Yeah.
So it's a great success, and they said their campaign was really good. So they actually have enough money to do a season 2, and I think a season 3 of this. And so everyone's been liking it. There's always critiques like, "Oh, I wish they were doing this. Or I wish they were doing that." Blah blah blah. We all have issues. But what came out of left field was a different guy, another well-known YouTuber person. Has a channel called One Shot Questers, and anyone that watches Reels probably has seen his. It's almost like sketch comedy D&D stuff. He has like the paladin of throwing it back and like a horny bard trope. They were entertaining. They were interesting to watch. He hit and became popular at the height of COVID, like most D&D tubers did, like when we started our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of got pretty famous too. His channel's got like 1 million, or almost 1 million subscribers and stuff like that. So he's relatively famous. So he then, I guess, put out a scathing critique of the first episode of this live play about how they did everything wrong, how, in his opinion, it should have been handled this way, and in his opinion, it should have been handled that way. Talking about like their screens were, like when they set up the stuff for the actual like live play, like when I do mine, like 82% of the screen is just background and dead screen time. You want to see the actors, and I guess maybe some of these things were valid points, but they all just missed the mark as someone that felt like they were just super jealous and bitchy that they were not included.
Sounds like he just needed some fucking content.
Yeah, which is kind of what I think happened. Well, it kind of blew up in his face. Like I said, he was at 1 million subscribers. He's now at like 900,000 subscribers, and everyone's kind of roasting this man because of his take on it. He even wrote like an essay and like broke down in his video about like, you spent this much money on cameras and I would have spent this much money buying $100 Logitech cameras, at Best Buy instead of the $1,000 camera that actually gets good quality to record people, and it was an obscene laughing stock. And
Yeah.
I'm glad it did. It made a little bit of like media attention, like on some of the third-party gaming websites. His little rant and how he was extremely misguided, and how it seems like he's just jealous that he wasn't included and someone else is doing what he wants to do for a living.
What is it?
I'm jealous of them. They're doing what I want to do for a living, but I'm not going to write a video saying that shit was bad. Their shit was great. So
what does this have to do with min-maxing?
So min-maxing is the channel that all those TikTokers, YouTubers came together and made. It's called min-max.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of us were sitting here thinking you were going to have a thing about players who min-max their characters. We didn't realize.
No.
Yeah, that's where I thought this was going.
Their channel's called min-maxed. That's the one that all the YouTubers put together.
You know what? That's clever. I like it.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
And now we know.
But I just like, why do people have to bring drama into just good old-fashioned fun stuff? I mean, issues do arise, problems do arise, but I don't know. Fuck that.
They did it for clicks, but it backfired on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever played a LARP?
No, I've never played a LARP before. What's that?
It's a place where all of the drama llamas decide to hang out together for a weekend.
Carl!
All right. So this weekend, I finally got to run my Caverns of Thracia game again after a month and a half off. And I have to say, our mutual friend Jacob, aka Muffin, is the luckiest / unluckiest player I think I've ever had. So when he rolled his character up in Dungeon Crawl Classics, he rolled up a halfling. And halflings get a lot of abilities based on luck. Like they can spend their luck for other people, which is something that most of the races can't do. Well, when he rolled his character up, he got the halfling randomly, but he also ended up with a 7 luck, which is complete and utter garbage. So he came up with the backstory of his, halfling is actually kind of cursed and just very unlucky, and that everybody just sort of shoos him away. He wasn't able to stay with the rest of his halfling folk, so he went out adventuring. And then he ends up with this party of adventurers. So last time they played, they managed to go deep into the caverns and found a lich's crypt. So that lich, he basically, as soon as they find him, he teleports out into another room and prepares himself for combat. So they just looted his fucking crypt and left. And in that crypt was like a magic sword, a very, very nice magic sword. I think it's a dragon slaying weapon. So he wanted that back. So he's like, okay, well, I'm going to summon up an earth elemental and just send it out, try to find my sword. So it tracks him down to their camp. Muffin's character is there making dinner. All the other characters are just hanging out around the camp. Earth elemental pops up. Because his luck score is so shit, I'm like, it pops up directly underneath you. That's how that works. He gets thrown into the air. He then runs at it and crits the fucking earth elemental with a magic sword. Deals 15 points of damage to it. And then I roll and flatten him in a single hit. because that's just how he is. That character just keeps getting killed. Every time he gets into a fight, it's like that. He does a crit, does something great, and then immediately gets squashed. It's been that way for several game sessions. Players continue on with the fight. They kill the earth elemental. They never were any the wiser that the lich sent it. They pick Muffin back up, go about their business. The next day, they go back down into the dungeon, and they happened to actually find where the lich was hanging out after he had teleported out. Because that's a big ass dungeon with a lot of directions to go, and they just happened to go that one direction. The lich had sort of set a trap for them. He had placed web spells in the different rooms that would lead to where he was at. So if they went through, they would burn them. He would know that they were coming, which gave him a couple of rounds to prepare. So when they walk into the room with the lich, he had 2 earth elementals summoned hiding in a corner, and he himself was invisible and levitating in a corner. And the goal was just to sort of watch the players and see what they do. He wants to find out more about them. And they start wandering around the room, checking things out. Muffin's sword that he has detects evil in 30-foot radius. The lich is just floating in a corner in the room, and Muffin gets near it, and he's like, "There's something floating around up there." So then he starts tracking the lich as it moves around the room. So the lich leads them over to where the earth elementals are at. The earth elementals pop up, and then the wizard in the party charms both earth elementals. I'm like, well, fuck. I was expecting to have a fight here. Now what? Okay. So the lich, and I had rolled all of his spells ahead of time, so I knew what. When you play DCC, the spells are kind of random. If you roll shitty, an invisibility spell, you might just be invisible, but as soon as you cast a spell, it'll drop. If you roll good, it might stay up through that. You get a greater invisibility type thing. I had rolled good. I had rolled good enough that he had a greater invisibility. He could do whatever the hell he wanted. So he just he dispel magics the charm on the earth elementals.
Sure.
And then he himself cast charm on the players.
Okay.
Same deal in DCC. When you cast charm, if it's a low roll, you might be able to charm 1 humanoid. If it's a really good roll, you might be able to charm 5 of whatever the fuck is in the room. He charmed every single player with 1 casting of it, because I rolled a 18 and he had a plus 12 on the roll. So it's like first edition D&D on those charm spells. You're charmed depending on your intelligence score. So 2 of the characters are charmed to him for a month. 2 of them are charmed for a week. And the wizard, who has the highest one, is charmed for like 3 days. And the spell doesn't just wear off. You just get a new saving throw.
It's fucking brutal. I love it.
Oh, it's absolutely brutal. Well, I mean, it was that, or I could just kill all of them.
Yeah, no, this is much better. Having to do horrible things now.
Yeah. So now, now they're buddies with this lich who's sending them off on different tasks that he needs. They didn't. If you read the Caverns of Thracia module, they don't give you any information on this lich other than he's really ancient and that he doesn't really want to participate in combat if he feels threatened. So I'm like, okay, well, now this lich just wants to be the immortal king of the Caverns of Thracia. So he sent them out to find the crown of the previous king who had died. At some point, they're going to bring that back, and then he's going to send them on another task, and then another task, and another task. So they've sort of accidentally found a patron.
Yeah, I think I see the writing on the wall of what's going to happen here, though. You said the wizard's going to have his charm drop first?
If he can make... He's going to have to... He's still going to have to roll like a 19 or a 20.
Oof,
so,
okay.
Yeah, it's possible, but very unlikely.
My guess is what would happen if he manages to, he'll just dispel it on the rest of the party. They'll get the fuck out of Dodge, or go back in and try to fight him again.
So currently, he is not high enough level to cast Dispel Magic, and he also doesn't have the spell.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And realize how low level they were.
They're
second. They're only second level.
Whew. Yeah.
Look, they're just here to adventure in Thracia. If they're adventuring on behalf of a lich, still adventuring.
Whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't.
King of Thracia, what's up?
Yeah, like he doesn't control them. They're just charmed. So they're friends. They like each other, and he needs them to do things for him.
He sure does like that.
So that's where my Caverns of Thracia. Oh yeah. So real quick, back to the whole Muffin, or Jacob story, with him being the luckiest, unluckiest halfling. So they start looking for the crown, and they come upon a door. And Jacob's been the one opening the door since he's a halfling. He sort of pick locks and check for traps and stuff like that. So he goes up to this door, and he realizes the door's not locked. So he just pushes on the door without examining it. Didn't look for traps or anything. There is that room specifically has what's referred to as the golden mold. It is a yellow fungus that if you inhale it, you have to make a constitution check. If you fail that con check, it kills you in 3 rounds. He has an okay constitution, like, but not like pluses.
Not okay enough.
He actually made the fucking save.
Wow, good job, dude.
Thus the luckiest, unluckiest halfling of all time. He made the save. It only took 3 points of stamina from him, or 2 points of stamina, something like that. It's not permanent either. He can rest and get it back. So they proceed. They deal with that room. They proceed past it into the next room, and they find a room with a bunch of scrolls that were sealed, and they just start popping all of the seals without really, doing what you should do. So they pop the first few and they're fine. Then they pop the one with the explosive runes on it, blows up everybody that was standing near it. So if you're adventuring in DCC or D&D first edition or anything, fucking you don't just start popping seals.
I have purposely avoided reading Caverns of Thracia, and what you're telling me isn't really telling me anything about the module other than there's a lich there. Okay, it's a giant dungeon. Sure. It's probably there. I'm very excited because I am going to be playing Caverns of Thracia in Old School Essentials on Thursday. And
okay.
Mike Merles is running it, so I'm very excited to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Apparently we're starting at the entrance to the dungeon and getting as far as we can in 8 hours.
That's right, yeah.
I was so jealous. I wanted to get into that.
Oh, wow. That's an 8-hour game?
It's an 8-hour game.
That's awesome.
I really wish I could just hang out and watch. Because
swing by and see if somebody doesn't show up, because if there's not a full party, that they typically are fine with people just slotting in. So
I don't want to play because I know the dungeon. I just want to watch. I want to see because I know where a lot of the bad shit's at, and where things are at. And
I purchased and backed Caverns of Thracia, but other than reading the articles at the beginning of it, written by Kelsey Dion and Mike Merles, I've not actually read the module, which I'm very happy for, because other than what you've told me about your parties falling to their death and whatever, and I don't know anything about it. It's just everybody's like, oh my god, this is the best module ever, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll eventually read it. I'm glad I haven't yet.
Yeah, no, you'll have a absolute blast running through, and every game master, because there's a lot of things this sort of open end or how you want to run, like the Lich, it didn't give me any details on him, so every game master can run these things how they want to run them.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, that's what I had for tonight's pod.
Okay, so I have an impromptu slot in here, if I may.
Yeah.
What do you boys know about the Tarrasque?
I know a hell of a lot about the Tarrasque because I've killed them, I've run them, and read them many times.
What do you guys know about the ecology of the Tarrasque?
We actually, well, Dan, me and you, or I think you covered the ecology. One of us covered the ecology of the Tarrasque a while back.
Yeah. So Tarrasque is one of my favorite subjects. I mean, I know we were talking about that. I think you found a bunch of old data about it, like how the Tarrasque doesn't have any kind of butthole or anything like that at all, because it digests everything that it eats, because it has 4 different stomachs. And we compared it to the map that's out there that someone drew up that was really cool, but doesn't fit the anatomy of the Tarrasque correctly based on the stuff that I think you found in Dragon Magazine. And by the way, Godzilla's a Tarrasque. Just saying.
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
So, I don't recall everything that we went over, but I did. Just because my long-time D&D 5e Greyhawk game, I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we accidentally woke up the Tarrasque after defeating Ayus the Evil, and just kind of let him rampage through his realm while we figured out what the fuck we're going to do. And turns out we figured out what the fuck we were going to do. this last session. So we had like a big knockdown draw battle. It's like the Wars of Greyhawk. We did some Kingdoms and Warfare MCDM style stuff, moving troops around, and we did that part of it. And we're like, okay, what the fuck are we gonna do now? And it's like, okay, we gotta go pull this sword. And these swords, I think I've mentioned, were all tangentially related to Blackrazor. I don't know if this is canon or not, but you guys know about the Wizard Caraptus made the blade Blackrazor, which is in the always forget the name of the goddamn module.
I'll find it. We talked about it very
We
briefly.
talked about it 2 weeks.
Yeah.
White Plume Mountain.
White Plume Mountain. It's in White Plume Mountain. But in this version of Greyhawk that we're playing in, White Plume Mountain doesn't open up for like 10 more years. But these tangentially related swords, which have names like American Gladiators, so you have Blackrazor, which is it's the traditional one. It's in the DMG and has been in the DMG since first edition. But then you have all these other ones. We have Star Razor, Void Razor, Scarlet Razor, blah blah blah. And there's like 8 of them or something like that. And the story as it goes, you know, in a lot of razors, a lot of blazer razors. Our DM has basically combined all the best parts of the different Vecna stories, because most of the Vecna stories leave a lot to be, a lot to be desired. So he took all the best parts of it and then combined it all together. And this big overarching plan has been in motion for a long time. And essentially, he has all these weapons of power that are tangentially related to Blackrazor, which I think in the game is essentially some sort of primordial soul that is hungers for souls that to be fed to it. Is essentially in different parts of Oerth, stabbed into some sort of shrine ritualistically that prevents divinations from working up to I think 4th level, which going from like detect magic all the way up to scrying, and basically is slowly but surely cutting off all the power of the other gods to see what's going on in Greyhawk. And we finally figured out what we need to do, because we found like a sword of cost like 2 years ago out of game, so probably 6 months ago in game. And the sword of cost is basically leading us to obviously go against his old master Vecna. And he's like, no, you guys need to find these things, and you need to stop what he's doing with this. That way you will be able to move along and defeat him. And we finally like stumbled upon what these blades were, and we had a very long role playing moment where like the goodly cleric that's carrying around the literal book of exalted deeds is like, no, do not pull that fucking sword. We just identified that thing will, first off, it eats your soul whenever part of your soul whenever you draw the thing, and you can't draw it unless you bind to it. Second, you can't unbind from it until you feed it souls. That's just an inherently evil act. And the wizard's like, oh no, it's technically speaking, the sword's not evil. And we're like,
leave it to the wizard.
Cleric on this one here, but I do also agree that we need to do this. So we like put a pin in it while we went off, fought a war, left some of our companions behind to defend it. And then at the end of like the little war battle that we fought, we were like, okay, well, we got to go draw this thing. And the caveat to this thing is that A, it's great sword. B, it cannot be drawn by anybody unless you're of chaotic alignment, which leaves me, the rogue, the wizard, and the druid. Everybody else is lawful at the party. So none of us can use fucking great swords. And the wizard's already loaded down with a bunch of crazy artifacts that could manipulate her or control her, and we don't know what the fuck this thing does other than what we got from a legend lore. So we're like, okay, I guess I'll do it. And then Druid's like, you know what? No, I'll do it this time. Fuck it. I mean, it has to get done. Let's just do it. We're like, okay, let's do it. So she draws it, and she immediately loses, I think, 40 of her permanent hit points as part of her soul gets absorbed into the sword, and learns all the things about it, which is basically it's almost essentially the exact stats of Blackrazor, which I have them pulled up here because if you're not familiar with Blackrazor, it's a great sword. It's Elric's sword. It's fantastic. But hidden in the dungeon of White Plume Mountain, Blackrazor shines like a piece of night sky filled with stars. This black scabbard is decorated with pieces of cut obsidian. You get +3 attack and damage rolls with this magic weapon, and has the following additional properties. Devour Soul. Whenever you use it to reduce a creature to 0 hit points, the sword slays the creature and devours the soul unless it is a construct or an undead. A creature whose soul has been devoured by a Blackrazor can be restored to life only by a wish spell. When it devours the soul, Blackrazor grants you temporary HP equal to the slain creature's HP max. These hit points fade after 24 hours. As long as the temporary hit points last, though, you can keep Blackrazor in hand. You have advantage on all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. The rest of them, there's other abilities and personality, etc., and so on to it. That part doesn't matter. So the part that matters is we draw the sword, and we start brainstorming. Okay, well, now we've broken Vecna's ritual. What the fuck are we gonna do? We got to go kill something that we don't give a shit about, like completely destroying the soul life. So we're brainstorming. We're like, I don't know, demons, gnolls have souls, right? They're inherently evil. Let's go find some fucking gnolls and kill them. We're like, yeah, let's go find some gnolls. And then just as an offhand comment, the wizard brings up Tarrasque of a soul, and we're like, wait a minute, we're not going to go hunt the Tarrasque, are we? Hold on a second. Maybe we will. How can we make it so how the druid can actually use a fucking greatsword? Wizard's like, I could true polymorph her into a storm giant. Oh shit. Yes, you can.
Got a plan.
So our plan was, now that we can scry, we know exactly where the fuck that Tarrasque is, and we know it's relatively close to where we can teleport in. So we scry on it, figure out where it is, prep with some potions and spells. And we're all looking at each other like, are we really gonna go fucking fight the Tarrasque? And like the fighter and the paladin are like, this is a fucking stupid idea, and everybody else is like, this is an awesome idea. This is the best idea. Like, how do you get rid of the Tarrasque? We don't know how to get rid of the Tarrasque. It fucking regenerates. It eats entire towns. It's killing a bunch of people, right? We got to go stop it. I mean, our other option was to go to like the Demon Web pits and use a summoning rod, summon it there, and fucking leave. That was our other option with what to do with the Tarrasque, or like an imprisonment spell. So we're like, okay, fuck it. Let's just pimp out the fucking druid and turn her into a storm giant. Give her like a potion of acid resistance in case she gets eaten. Give her a potion of growth so she's an even bigger storm giant. So hopefully she really doesn't get eaten. And see what we can do. So we teleport in, and the only times I've ever fought the Tarrasque, I never fought it in 2nd edition, but I fought it in 3rd edition and in Pathfinder, and it was a scary son of a bitch. We were playing in 5th edition. We're 16th level characters for the most part. The wizard's 18th because she read some books, so she's got 9th level spells. But everybody else only has 8th level spells, only have 16th level abilities, like 150 hit points on average for most of us, even with the Hero's Feast and stuff like that. But we fucking beat the shit out of this thing. And yeah, the fighter took a lot of damage, and the paladin definitely crit it with some smites, but 676 hit points. I know we've talked about action economy before. A single monster cannot stand up to a fully decked out party, especially if it's a high level party.
Yep.
It took less than 2 rounds to kill it, and she swallowed its fucking soul and has plus 676 hit points and for the rest of the day.
That's the stupid part.
That's the stupid part.
That's the stupid part.
She kind of turns around to us, is like, "Hey, I feel pretty good right now. You guys want to go do something else? I kind of want to be a storm giant for a while longer." I'm like, oh my god, the idea was you can unbind from that thing now that it has the soul of a fucking Tarrasque in it.
No.
Nope.
My sword now.
No,
Now she's an addict. First hit was free, and now she's like,
now she got to get more souls. Yeah.
yeah.
So of
Oh,
course,
no,
our
this
next
is great.
our next our 2 weeks, our plan is to go find what is rumored to be Vecna's Phylactery, which is the Book of Vile Darkness. So I'm sure that's going to go over well. But I want to revisit the Tarrasque just because I've been thinking about it since yesterday when we fought this thing, and I pulled up the Dragon Magazine 359, where Ed Greenwood and Eric Mona wrote the Ecology of the Tarrasque. And let me just read out the stats of the Tarrasque from the different editions. So 5th edition, 676 hit points, 25 natural armor class, it's challenge rating 30, but man, it is a weak ass 30. Everyone knows of the lulls. If you give an Aarakocra first level ranger a longbow, +1 longbow, it can just fly above it and it will never be hit by the Tarrasque. Ha ha ha. Right? And
Yeah.
by the stats, if you do not change anything from what is by the book stats from 2014 D&D, that is actually correct. Like, this thing is just a sack of hit points. It doesn't actually regenerate in 5th edition, which is lame.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Like the regen was always one of the biggest things it had.
Yeah,
It does in 5.5.
Good.
Okay. They might have corrected it a little bit, but man, the 5th edition stats are it's just a stack of hit points that has 4 attacks plus 19 to hit.
In 5.5, it has regeneration and it has a roar attack, like a range attack.
By comparison, let me pull up the stats for the 3rd edition version. So there's 3rd edition variety. We've got 858 hit points, plus 57 bite, plus 50. So its full attack is plus 57 bite, 2 horns plus 52, 2 claws plus 52, a tail slap plus 52, and you're doing between about 50 and 24 per shot on each of these. It also has 3rd edition versions of power attack. So considering how ridiculously high its attack bonus is, you could power attack and basically just slap any non-fighter or barbarian type to the ground in a single shot. It also crits on an 18 to 20.
We one-rounded one in 3rd edition.
3rd edition was also ridiculous depending on what you build it out to.
It was the Frenzied Berserker. So yeah.
But what it had that the 5th edition one did not have is regeneration. No form of lethal attack. Attack does lethal damage to a Tarrasque. Tarrasque regenerates even if it fails a saving throw versus a disintegrate or death effect. If Tarrasque fails a saving throw against one of these spells that would kill it instantly, the spell or effect instead deals non-lethal damage equal to its current total hit points. And the Tarrasque is immune to effects that produce incurable or bleeding wounds, and essentially it just comes right back after it's been disintegrated.
Yep. Don't forget the magic shell that reflects spells and all that other shit.
And they did actually kind of do that in 5th edition.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you can reflect back magic missiles, and you can also reflect back what?
You had to make a roll. It had a roll thing.
A roll of 1 to 5, a Tarrasque gun effect, and a roll of 6, it reflects back a spell turning out against the caster if it has a ranged attack. So like
which previous editions was just it reflects.
Yeah.
There's no roll. It just happens. You get your own spell shot right back at you.
And again, I think they fixed that in 5.5.
No, they did not. I'm looking at it right here. They left
really?
it exactly the same.
No, I thought it was
nope. It's
okay.
Reflective Carapace. Roll a 1 to 5. The Tarrasque is unaffected. Roll a 6. It's unaffected and reflects the spell. Woo.
Yeah.
Does it have regeneration in 5.5?
It
does not.
It does not.
Oh my god.
You're incorrect, Waples. It is still just as trashy as Monster as it was.
Well, at least it has it does have a ranged attack at least.
Good for it. At least it didn't just make it like a dragon and give it like 2 rend attacks or some shit.
It has 1. It has to recharge. It's a recharge ability.
I mean, if I ever ran one in 3rd edition, I was just gonna have it throw a house at people. So you try that flying shit all you want.
Our DM did give it a ranged attack. It gave it like the 3rd edition version where it does the fucking Godzilla lightning breath, and it definitely breath attacked the entire party, which did a significant amount of damage to half the party. But yeah, I'm just confused as to why they just kind of like dumbed it down just to sack a hit point monster. It's
well, it's too things are too complicated for new players. So
back at that.
Sorry, Chris.
So Pathfinder SRD does a great job because you know what? There's a variant Tarrasque in the Pathfinder SRD called Tarrasque, King of Kaiju.
Nice.
Which gives it the 20 to die 6 breath weapon of electricity and another 20 to die 6 of fire damage to everybody in the Sinus Cone.
Oh,
it's Godzilla.
So good.
Yeah, they just turned it into Godzilla.
But the article, if we've gone over this before, I'm not gonna go through it. But there's the article in Dragon 359, if you guys want to look it up, September 2007, has an advanced Tarrasque in it that has basically double the hit points of the by the book
Ugh.
3.5 Tarrasque, and gives it a whole bunch more feats. It crits on like a 15 to 20, augmented critical, and deflects all rays, cones, and magic missiles. 30% chance of reflecting anything back at it, so it's not just a 1 in 6 chance of reflecting back at it. And the other thing that I kind of missed from the earlier editions, from first through I guess probably fourth, maybe at least third, is the only way to kill a Tarrasque in those editions is you get it down and then you wish it dead.
Yeah,
That was it. Those are the only ways.
Not even getting it down. I don't know it is in third, but in second edition, I recall you had to take it to minus 40 hit points and then cast Wish.
Got
Like
the
that
third
was
edition stats right here. It's regeneration of the Tarrasque. Yeah, where is it? Wish.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
the
only
Tarrasque
way to
can be
kill it.
slain only by raising its non-lethal total to its normal full hit points, 868, and using a wish to keep it dead. Okay, so yeah, normal full hit points.
Yeah.
Then.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you can do 868 damage and cast Wish,
Yeah,
you
you should.
deserve it.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, like and honestly, I had not really looked at this in depth at Tarrasque stats in 5th edition, other than maybe like to follow along with the commentary from a few years ago about the Aarakocra with the +1 longbow managing to kill it. But I'm like, really? It doesn't even need a wish anymore? Okay, well, instead it gets a soul eaten by a Blackrazor. I will say that one of the great things in this article and the ecology of the Tarrasque notes. Apparently, Drelix's tome is similar to the 1983 version of the Monster Manual 2, written by Gary Gygax for first edition. In that venerable work, the Tarrasque's first appearance in D&D, treating the monster's carapace with acid and heating it in a furnace yielded 10 die 10 diamonds valued at 1,000 gold pieces each.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But yeah, this article has like a good 3-page short story about the first appearance of a Tarrasque, basically written in the Elven histories. And also gives you something I desperately wish they would put back in to D&D, but of course they did not. Whenever they came with the new Monster Manual, hey, DC 30 result of this is what you know about the Tarrasque, 40, 35, 40, 45. If you manage to hit that DC 45 Knowledge Arcana check, you could know that it takes a wish or miracle to after immediately rendering unconscious to fully destroy it.
Yeah.
Which, we did all the research and knowledge history checks that we could in 5th edition, and it basically, what you guys know about the Tarrasque is what you know about the Tarrasque. It's a giant fucking kaiju. It goes and kills literally everything until it's sated, and then sinks back into the earth. That's all you really know about it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good, keeping player knowledge separate from character knowledge. Especially with something like that, you kind of have to. Because everybody knows the Tarrasque. Every game master has read about the Tarrasque and knows the fucking stats of the thing.
Sure.
But you don't want the players' characters knowing all of that.
Oh no, of course not. But I miss being able to just have the book written ability, what you can garner from a knowledge check.
Yeah.
That was one of the things of 3.5 that I really liked, is there was a list of 4 or 5 things that you could learn if you made the right check, and it was a reason to actually put points in knowledge skills.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like in 5e, the way they're handling Tarrasque dying is that the Tarrasque itself moves on. Its being, its consciousness, or whatever, moves on to another Tarrasque body when one is defeated. So
another part of the planescape or something.
Yeah, another part of the material plane. So whenever a Tarrasque is defeated, another Tarrasque awakes somewhere else in the material plane.
Where are you finding that at?
The 5 D&D Beyond lore section for the Tarrasque. Yeah.
That's part of the DLC you had to pay.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I paid it for it, guys. I paid for it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The only other piece of knowledge, cute thing I have about the Tarrasque is that when they made Fallout, They needed a CG model for the Death Claws.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
And they bought unused assets. I think it was for the Planescape game that they had made. And one of the unused models was a Tarrasque model that they decided not to use in the Planescape game, scaled it down a little bit, and made that into the Deathclaw.
I have always thought that Death Claws looked just like the fucking Tarrasque. Didn't know that was why.
That is... I remember reading it someplace. I wanted to bring it up. I think now is perfect time to. I think it's fucking cool. A little bit of lore.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I like that.
It's hard to distinguish them, but little baby Godzillas exist, so why not little baby Tarrasques?
Yeah, Godzuki's a thing, right?
Godzuki. I know we're getting close to the hour, and I got two final things to talk about.
All right,
All right.
get them done.
All right. First off, Amy Madigan won Best Supporting Actress for her role as Aunt Gladys in the horror film Weapons, which, again, if you haven't seen it, is in my opinion, the best interpretation of what a modern day hag would be. It's amazing. Okay. Definitely watch it.
Damn good horror movie. Damn good horror movie.
Yes, it is.
It's fucking amazing.
I will watch it. It's on my list.
Yeah, it is honestly literally the best. Perfect. Watch it. And the next part is I'm at number 5 of the Matt Merker's top 10 things we need to talk about.
Oh yeah,
better ways of running your D&D game.
Yeah, right. Craig. I don't know. Every time he just gets him, walks out. But I'm forcing him to sit down. So go ahead.
Yeah, hold him still. All right, number 5.